why do we contradict ourselves? Why do we say they only want the money, and then when they don't say anything about money, and they just want to change the scenery so they have a chance to win some games, they're a bad teammate. These guys can't win either way with us. That's the truth. That's the truth. And you know what's happening now? I've heard some rumors, read a little bit online about this. Apparently the other half of their wide receiver tandem also unhappy with the organization. TJ Houshmandzadeh unhappy with Cincinnati. I don't think it's quite the level of Chad Johnson yet, but Houshmandzadeh doesn't get paid like a number one receiver. However, he performs like a number one receiver. So he's upset he's not getting the money he thinks he deserves. He's starting to grumble a little bit about it. He thinks he should be getting paid more. Rightfully so. He should be getting paid more. He's a number one receiver. Cincinnati has two number ones. It happens sometimes. Colts have two number ones. Ain't that right, Elwood? Some teams just do. Deal is, though, you have to pay them like that. You can't pay a guy just because he's not the only number one on your team. You can't pay him like a number two and expect him to be happy. See, I don't blame guys. It's easy for us to say, oh, dude, they got so much money anyway. He's just being spoiled. I mean, spoiled athlete, just spoiled rich guy, millionaire, wanting to be richer. Rich getting richer. It's easy for us to say. But I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, he's rich, but when he's outperforming the guys all over the league that are getting paid millions more than he is, I mean, come on. What would you do? Would you say, that's cool. I'm good with two. I'm good with $2 million. No, you want that $10 million. You want to get paid according to how you perform. You're performing like a number one. You're a top 10 receiver in the league. You better get some bang for that. You better get some loot for that. And it's so easy to blame the athletes because that's who we hear about. Those are the people we know. We see them every week on the field. We know they get these big huge contracts, and so it's easy naturally for us when a guy starts complaining about money to kind of view the athlete as the bad guy. Yeah, I know they make a lot of money, but if you saw the bank accounts for the people signing these guys' checks for the owners, you would think you'd change your tune a little bit. You think these athletes are spoiled rich guys. Imagine the owners paying their paychecks. Dude, you see what they're taking home. All right? Because these big contracts that these athletes sign that we hear about, I mean, those are the ones that make headlines. You don't read about how much the owners are making. Trust me, it's much, much more than the athletes. Much more. All right? I mean, that's the spoiled greedy. That's not the athletes. Athletes know that they are generating millions and millions of dollars. They just go straight into these guys' pockets. And all they're saying is, hey, man, I'm working my ass off to earn this money. Let me get a little more. Pay me what I'm worth. But it's easy to say. I don't make you don't make $1 million a year. I don't know anybody that does. So it's easy for us to say, oh, dude, he's already rich. I mean, that's bogus. Just go out there and play. You're rich anyway. But listen, it's a scale. It's a different scale. It's a whole different level of income than we're used to. All right, if you're a guy making $100,000 a year, okay, that's pretty good money. Right, $100,000 a year is pretty good money. If it's just like an office job, a working job, you're making $100,000. $50,000 is pretty good money. But if you're making $100,000, we'll go with that. $100,000 a year is pretty good money. All right. Let's say your office, your business, you're the top producer. You are the best salesman. You're the top guy, whatever it is. However, there's a guy across the hall doing about 3/4 of the work you're doing, but taking home about $175 a year. Taking home $175 a year. All right. So you got to say you're making that $100,000, right? You're living. You're paying your bills. You're not in debt. You're okay. What are you crying about? No, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing when you're dealing with millions. You deserve to be paid what the guy across the hall is making. At least. I mean, probably more. Same thing. You're both well off. You're both making good money. But if you're outperforming someone and he's taking home more than you, that's going to get under your skin a little bit. It doesn't matter if you're already doing well. It doesn't matter if you already have money. What are you working so hard for if you're not going to get paid? So the Bengals organization obviously has problems in the front office. Obviously. I mean, obviously. There's something wrong there that needs to be fixed. You have two disgruntled all-pro receivers. One of them just doesn't even want to be there anymore. Another guy's like, look at what I do for you. How come you're paying me like I'm a chump?